Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. The three most skilled predators of the western marshes are the bobcat, with its swift reflexes, the coyote with its keen senses of smell and hearing, and the cougar with its great strength. Each of those predators is quite intelligent in its own way, and to them, hunting is a way of life. Yet their abilities are often taxed to the utmost in the vastness of the great marsh. There are multitudes of prey animals, especially waterfowl, here in the marsh during spring. But that does not mean they're simple to catch, and competition is great. The marsh is lush and green at this season, its water replenished by the runoff from the surrounding mountains. Our story about this marsh occurs here in this region of the northwestern United States, in a remote area where few people visit. It is here that a delicate natural balance exists for the predators of the marsh.
In this sprawling western marsh, flanked by mountains, the air is filled with the scents and sounds of spring. Distant peaks are still snow-capped, but the snow is starting to melt and is running off into the marsh. Coming regularly from the mountains to this lush land is the largest and most powerful of the region's predators, the cougar. His presence is one of the constant dangers for the many species that have made this their nesting ground. Among these is the red-head duck, who is most vulnerable during the period when she is still on her nest, incubating her eggs. A nearby goose remains very alert to possible danger each time she returns to her nest. Soon her eggs will hatch. Then she'll have the freedom to move about and be safer from attack. However, the new goslings now filling the marsh will be prime targets for predators. Even though the goslings can swim shortly after hatching, they have a great deal to learn, and for the first few weeks, their abilities are very limited. Tasks that are simple for their mother become insurmountable barriers for them. Until they become more experienced, her vigilance is constant. These adult mallards, without young, have less to fear since they can fly away. Even so, they are ever alert for danger. The smaller but considerably more colorful wood duck rarely lets its guard down, especially when swimming alone. The wood duck is not at all disturbed by the presence of the beaver. At this time of year, the beaver is relatively free of any great need to store food, as he will be later on when autumn approaches. He is able now to merely relax and enjoy life in the marsh. The wood duck does not become less alert just because the marsh is tranquil, especially not when the marsh's most active predator, the bobcat, is hunting. The goose in open water dares not abandon her goslings. Instead, she gives them a good survival lesson by making herself as low as possible in the water to be less noticeable. They have been seen, and instantly the hunt is on. And even though the goose leads her brood into deeper undergrowth to hide, the family is now in jeopardy. The bobcat's concentration is broken by a sudden distraction. A competitor, the coyote, is intent on catching a muskrat who has wandered into very shallow water. Even though the muskrat tries to get out of sight, it's too late. The coyote has seen its prey. The coyote senses he has the muskrat for sure now. Then, unexpectedly, the biggest and most formidable predator of the marsh puts in an appearance. This gives the muskrat time to escape. The coyote decides to continue her hunting in an area less dangerous at the moment than this particular part of the marsh.
Coyotes are wily predators and take care to teach their pups the skills needed to catch all sorts of prey in the marsh, even prey they might not normally hunt.
Deciding it's time to give her two pups their first real lesson in hunting, the female coyote will take them to an area where they should find easy prey. It is in these formative days of their lives that she will attempt to imbue them with the skills that are so important to survival. They haven't gone far when they encounter a turtle. Though not ordinary prey, it is an ideal subject for a hunting lesson in shallow waters. First, learn what scent identifies this animal as a turtle. Then, learn where it is most likely hidden. In water this shallow, all that's necessary now is to feel with one's feet for something hard, and when you step on it, reach in and pick it up. Because of its hard shell, the turtle is hardly ideal prey. But teaching pups to hunt by feel in shallow water is important. Sometimes frogs, fish, and crayfish can be caught this way. The turtle's escape now toward deeper water is of no consequence. For a moment, the coyote feels about for anything else that might be there, but finding nothing, gives up the search. The pups have now had their first hunting lesson in shallow waters. The female knows other areas where she will be able to teach the pups different techniques of hunting. She will continue her training of the pups all through the summer until they are old enough to go off on their own. If she has done her job well, they will have learned to compete with other predators for food. The raccoon constantly hunts the shores and shallows for such prey as frogs and mice and other small creatures. More important than the raccoon as a competing predator here in the marsh is the highly skilled hunter, the bobcat. He tends to become angry when he discovers an intruder searching for food in the area he considers to be his own exclusive territory. This bobcat will usually avoid an outright battle if possible, preferring to discourage a competitor with the threat of his presence rather than in a fight where he might risk injury to himself. Now the bobcat can continue with his business of hunting without being concerned that the raccoon is still in the area. Sometimes, though, the bobcat overestimates his own abilities. A beaver swimming toward shore has become a little careless. Mostly hidden by the water, he appears considerably smaller than he actually is, which makes him seem to be likely prey in the eyes of the hungry bobcat. The beaver turns out to be much larger than expected, but still the bobcat attacks. At long last, it is the beaver who retreats, leaving behind a weary bobcat. He won't be anxious to tackle another beaver for a long time to come. Still very hungry, he's interested when two mallard ducks alight on a shallow pool close by. From past experience, he knows exactly how wary adult ducks can be. Nevertheless, he's determined to use all his considerable hunting skill in an attempt to catch one. While they are occupied with straightening their plumage after landing, the bobcat starts his stalk. This is one day he won't go hungry.
The cougar is the largest and most powerful predator in this marsh, but even these qualities do not assure him successful hunting all the time.
The cougar who hunts in this marsh often relaxes in the cool reeds and casually nibbles at the grasses. But he never fails to remain alert to what is happening close by. Today, a beaver has appeared in the shallow water close to the shoreline. This immediately captures the attention of the big cat. As the most powerful predator here, he can catch almost any animal he encounters. But there are some that are no easy matter to take as prey. A beaver attacked in his own element can be formidable, and the big cougar may be in for quite a surprise. The cougar's not inclined to give in so easily on a potential meal. There has been no clear winner in the encounter. Though the cougar is tempted to press the fight even further, the beaver's retreat makes the cat give up. Perhaps he will encounter this same tough beaver another day, in circumstances that are more favorable to himself. This sprawling marsh not only supports many animals, it also provides excellent cover for them to hide in. So hunting isn't always easy for the big cat. He'll even try for a little garter snake. The cougar knows that some snakes are poisonous, so he takes care in approaching this one. Having finally determined that this is not a poisonous snake at all, he now decides it is time for the kill. At this moment, a skunk family appears, distracting the cougar from his kill. Busy with teaching her large family the rudiments of survival in this habitat, the female skunk is as yet unaware that she and her young may be in imminent peril. The sight of such a brood causes the cougar to abandon the little snake to investigate the larger animals. With danger approaching, the female warns her young. They obey and follow, all but two. The hunting cougar prepares to bat a baby skunk who has lagged behind, but he is distracted and moves on to overtake the much larger female skunk. She deliberately moves away from her babies, leaving them unprotected, hoping to provoke the cougar into attacking her. Her plan works. When he now approaches, she leads him further away from her young. Her first shot of spray is mainly a warning, only enough to cause him momentary minor discomfort. But it was not enough. The second spray again stops him, but only temporarily. He still hasn't learned his lesson. The third shot does it, full in the face, engulfing him in an overpowering stench and all but blinding him. Feeling the cougar still to be a threat, the female skunk moves quickly behind the cat to spray him again if necessary. This has been a relatively normal day at the marsh. A day when the three major predators, the large and powerful cougar, the skillful and efficient bobcat, and the wily female coyote, All have had their usual successes or failures. All are very important in their own way to the continuing natural balance, filling a vital role while they live their lives as predators of the marsh.
Some of North America's finest marshes have been drained for agricultural or commercial development. It is very important that we protect our remaining marshes. If we don't, many of the animals that live here might well cease to exist. We can't stop progress, but with foresight and dedication, we can preserve America's marshlands as part of the wild kingdom.